Is astrology a guide to aid us in mastering the universe? This is the Cosmic Community Podcast with Galactic Ambassador Stacey Dredd. Aquarius season continues on, and Aquarius is the sign of newness and of change. Aquarius is ruled by the planet of Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of sudden change and unexpected things. And so the Aquarius season is always sort of a wild card, sort of a mixed bag. You don't really know exactly what you're going to get being ruled by the planet of surprises and of instant change. But it's also the sign of awakening, that if there is something, happening in your life where you know that you need to make a change, that this type of energy can really help you to make that change really quickly and easily and be totally cool with the newness of something new. So February 5th brings on some of these changes as we move into the 1st of February. We have Mercury following the Sun and Pluto into the sign of Aquarius. And every planet, each of these personal planets we just discussed, is going to be making this conjunction with Pluto as they enter the sign of Aquarius. So Aquarius season could feel like there is an instant transformation, even a little tough of a transformation, as Pluto can be a little dark and can sort of bring things up, that maybe don't make us as comfortable. Pluto is like all about those things that we try and keep in the dark, try and keep those things way deep down in the shadows. But when we deal with Pluto energy, those things, they pop their heads up. So Mercury making this first pass into Aquarius and making this conjunction with Pluto. So we're going to be receiving communications about some of these maybe dark places even, or some of these things that are being dredged up by the planet of Pluto are going to come to light. We're going to have some type of instantaneous awakening to some type of dark information that comes out. Mercury is the ruler of communication. So definitely going to be bringing in some of these fresh ideas right here in the start of February. And then we have our new moon in Aquarius on February 9th. And all my times are Pacific West Coast times. And so you will need to do the math if you're listening from another area. But the new moon on the West Coast, that is at about 3:00 in the afternoon. And the new moon in Aquarius is a time for us to have this quiet new intention, this place to start. Now, we have a chance to get settled into Aquarius season here before we have our new moon. And then new moons are all about starting fresh cycles. So we get to explore these Aquarius themes, and then we get to set a new intention around these Aquarius themes. And I was actually looking at the mascot, for Aquarius. And this is the water bearer. And it's like one of the stranger of all of the, shall we say, beings that represent a zodiac sign. The water bearer is known as the mystical healer, and is the one who brings the water and blesses the water here. And that is a beautiful thing, like being the bringer of healing waters and mystical healing. And right around this new moon in Aquarius on February 9th, we are going to also see the asteroid Chiron, the wounded healer. Do you see the theme coming in here of healers and healing? The wounded healer, the asteroid of Chiron, is going to be coming into a close contact with the North Node. And the North Node are the things that we are trying to bring into our life. These are North Node, the themes that we want to see come in. These are things that we are headed towards and things that we are trying to bring into our life. And so healing on the docket for the new moon in Aquarius. The mystical healer is going to come through on this new moon. Chiron is going to be dealing with some let's face it, the North Node is bringing new things into our life. So here in the sign of Aries also is where this is taking place, right around 19 degrees of Aries, which is, as I mentioned before, the first sign of the zodiac and wants to initiate new things, is another initiating energy, just like Capricorn is. So that newness, some type of new healing that we're going to be going through and embarking on. Chiron does deal with some pretty deep-seated wounds. So this could be bringing up some pretty tough areas. All of this action with Pluto also bringing up some of these dark areas. This new moon, we usually in Aquarius, it's very, it's an air sign, nice for getting out and being social and being with groups of people. But I really feel like this new moon is going to be a little more intimate for us to look at our own wounds. And then on February 13th, Mars, the planet of Mars, our physical body, our warrior spirit, is going to be moving out of the sign of Capricorn into Aquarius, joining the Aquarius party, going through that conjunction with the planet of Pluto, drumming up some more of these dark areas, but also bringing light to these places where we need this healing. And then later in the week, we see the planet of Venus. On the 16th of February, Venus moves into the sign of Aquarius, and she becomes the water bearer herself, and she comes into that conjunction with Pluto right around this new moon with Chiron on the North Node. There is so much deep-seated healing that is going to be taking place during February. And like I said, it could be a little rough. It could be a little dark, but just use it the best that you can, because this is all good stuff. You have to dredge up the pond sometimes to, let more water come flowing through the river there. So as we flow later into the month of February, we get Pisces season starting a little bit early. February 18th is when the sun moves into Pisces. That's the same day that we have the moon in Cancer. And so this is going to be a more emotional day, Sunday, February 18th, where, Aquarius is some big energy. And I think this Aquarius season is going to be pretty potent. If it hasn't been already for you, it's definitely going to be very potent as these personal planets come through and make this contact with Pluto. And oh my goodness, it's so loaded. So there could be some emotional fallout from that. Let's just call February 18th sort of that emotional fallout. But it's a beautiful place because Pisces is empathetic and Pisces is soft. And Pisces is a great landing point for these planets to just get their little butts moving through Aquarius and land in Pisces on the other side in a really soft place to be kind and understanding and to be a little more nurturing. And the planets are moving fast because Mercury is already going to be in Pisces by February 23rd, just a day before our full moon in Virgo. And that's going to be a big one. That always initiates spring cleaning for me. And that's about pretty much it through the end of February. So really it's the first and it's the middle part of February up until about the 16th, that we have a lot of action and a lot of things happening, a lot of realizations, transformations taking place. And then we have a little bit more of that fallout into Pisces season late in the month. So I think it's going to be pretty good. I think it's going to flow nicely. And we have Imbolc coming up, which is the cross quarter holiday that is on just here in a couple days on February 2nd. So that marks the halfway point of winter already, if you can believe it. We are this week marking the halfway point through that. And then I guess I will be back next week. We'll be chatting some more about the effects of the water bearer in our life and moving into that new moon and making some intentions there. So thank you very much for being tuned in, and I will talk to you next week. Peace. Thank you for listening to the Cosmic Community Podcast. More can be found at kpov.org/thecosmiccommunity.